Welcome back to another episode of Biggsie's. We haven't decided yet, but as you can tell, I'm wearing the same stuff as the video before, and so I figured I'm going to start working on the drawers for this, and I figured, you know what? I want to prove that I'm actually doing all this and making the mistakes or making the successes. So I document a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm not going to show you everything. Probably just cut it up in little pieces so that you can see what I'm doing, how I did it. But anyways, let's take a look at the slider positioning on the drawer. Here we have the drawer. I don't have faces on the drawer yet, so that's why I put this, I just clamped this straight edge to that so I'd have something to be able to put the slider up against. So when I do have a drawer face, this won't be too far forward. The last time I did it by hand, and I felt it with my hand, okay, and thought, yeah, okay, that's good, but up here it was sticking out even further. So what I did is I drew a line, and then I punched some holes for the screws to go in for 3 screws. Now I'm not using the screws that came with it. I'm using these screws. I can't tell you what those screws are because they came from a different job. They were leftovers. The screws that come with it, where are they? Here they are. The screws that come with the sliders are so much smaller. They don't go in. I don't think they bite enough in, especially for the kind of weight that I'm going to be having in these drawers. And I feel that this extra length in this screw here is going to give me a little more bite into the sides of the drawers. All right, so we've got the screws in 3 locations. If you're wondering, this little attachment here is the attachment that makes it a soft close slider. So as it comes in, there's a little device on the other side that comes in here, and it's spring activated, and it will pull the drawer in the last few inches. All right, so let's test that. So this is the back of the slider and all the bearings and everything. This is the front, and this is the lock right here. This is the part that you see when you pull your drawers out completely. In fact, if we go over here, most sliders have them. So even on my tool chest, you'll see here's the lock. And in this particular case, you push this down to be able to unlock it so you can pull the drawer completely out. So in this case, here it is right here, you'll pull it up on this side, down on the other side because it's reverse. So we're just going to slide this in here just to kind of get a feel. Hard to do it with one hand. See, now it's locked in there. This angle, and I'm just using this as an example because it's the same over here, but this angle from here to here, that angle is not a true 90-degree angle. It's kind of skewed a little bit. Okay, so you can see that touches there, but we've got some gap there. And it's the same over here. So the solution that I had come up with is basically kind of building a box that will fit into this area and then having these drawers all mounted. Now there's going to be gaps, so probably be about an inch gap in between each of these. But nonetheless, rather than actually creating a base, sides, and a top and a back for the box, all I'm looking at doing is creating sides for this space. Now those sides will touch somewhere in there, and then I'll have to maybe shim a little bit here and there to make sure that it is okay. Now if we look here, that is ever so slightly skewed here, some gap there. So it's going to go in this way. So I will probably touch here, but maybe barely scrape by there. These are going to be my standards, or my sides, if you will, for that spot. And what I've done here on my live full scale drawing is I marked where each of those drawer slides are, and then on here I transferred them over to where they are. Then I'll use this as my template, place it onto here, scribe straight lines, and that'll be my center of my slides. Then I'll take these parts off, okay, and using these center parts here, screw that to those standards. Here we are. What I did is I took this ruler after transcribing the marks where the centers of the slides need to be, and I transcribed them in 3 places: here, here, and here. And then I lined up the straight edge all the way across so that it would touch each of those, keeping this flat and flush to give me the center lines of the 4 drawer slides. Now, those of you who are good at woodworking and done this forever and ever and ever may see some flaws in it. I would like to learn. So if you do see some flaws in my thought process, please put a comment down below so that not only I can learn, but those who are like me watching this can learn as well. But that's kind of the solution I came up with to get these drawers down in here. Here is the drawer slides attached to the what I'm calling the standards. I just tacked them in on this side 3, made it level off, made it square off of here, which if you look down the side, you'll see that it's not even touching this board. So I don't know yet until I put the drawers in. You can even see here with it squared how much of a gap we've got right through here. So I'm gonna put these drawers in there now and see how well they slide in and out. I found that it's kind of hard. It seems like at first when you start to put them in, and it's hard because I've got rollers too. Should probably lock them. See if that kind of slows them down a little bit. But anyways, when you pull them out, they're full extension drawers. Get to a point, it'll pull itself in. But I was having issues. You can see here along this edge, there's quite a bit of space in between there. And I think, and then this part isn't screwed down at all. This has one screw, and you can see how that gap goes, and it's really tight down here because I have a screw. You can probably barely see it. I want to loosen that screw more so that it kind of lines this all up together. It closes pretty well, but I want it all nice and tight, so there's no wriggle room in the drawers. Later on, I'll put some faces on there so that it'll just, the gap you will see will be like a kerf.